Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be filling in the War Robots 2018 survey. So I actually got this idea from Islander. If you don't know about his YouTube channel, make sure to check him out. I'll put a link in the video description for that. And basically what he did was he decided to fill out the survey and make a video on it so that you guys could see, what he had to say about the game and sort of reflect back on some of the changes that have happened this past year. So I thought that was a great idea, and that's why I'm going to be doing the same thing. And I actually encourage other YouTubers to do, the same thing as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, make sure I copy my pilot ID. And then I'm going to go to the new section here and let's fill this out. So this is the survey. Okay. And you got to make sure that you paste it. So let's see if I can do this. There we go. And okay, so this is the first set of questions. So what did you like the most in 2018? In-game news, new weapons. I have mixed feelings about things like new weapons and new robots because I don't want to say yes and then the thing is they create a whole ton of new weapons and robots, because the amount of content that we've got in the game over the past couple of months has been pretty crazy. Way too much in such a short amount of time. So I'm not going to check any of that off. There are some things that I do like. So I like, for example, things like Vortex. I'm just looking through some of the weapons. Thermite can be fun, although I don't have that leveled up. Exodus, Avenger especially, I really like that. So there are weapons that I do like, but because they have listed all of them, I'm not going to check it because there are some things I don't like. For example, all the range weapons like Obelisk, Ion, Flux, Ballista. So I don't want to give them any wrong impression here. New paint jobs, I'll give them that. Definitely not economy changes. New maps, I'm happy with. In-game events, you know what? I would check that off, but the thing is, last year I thought the events were actually better. It was just more special. There was something that you had, or at least kind of looked forward to. This year, not so much. There wasn't really, there were event tasks. It wasn't like last year when we had the Halloween event, or it was either before then. You could actually see ghosts, for example, on the battlefield. So they did something really special with it. We didn't actually get that this year. So I think it had kind of lost its luster. And, I wasn't as excited for the events as previous years, if that makes any sense. So I'm not going to be checking that. Special hangar for private. This one I kind of like because we did do, my clan did do a Vox vs. Vox, for example. And that was fun. Definitely separate modes. Upgrade rush. Now, I don't even remember what the balance changes in 4.3 were. I'm trying to remember. So many changes. So the upgrade rush, I kind of liked it, but then what they did afterwards was you could get it with VIP. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I'm not even going to check it because that, the rush is nice, but then the thing is it still costs a lot. So yeah, I'm not going to be checking any of that off. Free-for-all mode, kind of good, although to be honest, I actually don't even play it, so I'm not even going to check that off. Skirmish mode, I'll check off, because that's kind of fun as well. Clan ranks, and let's see what else we have here. Okay, so my comment here on clan ranks, and I know it's going to be different from everyone else, but personally for me, I actually don't like the whole clan rank system. And the reason why is because I find that when it gets to any kind of ranking system, and I've said this even with the league system, that players tend to get too competitive. And when you get too competitive, it's all about winning. And when it's all about winning, it gets to the point where it almost becomes a job. And if it becomes a job, you're not having fun. So I'm definitely not going to be checking that off for sure. So I think, what I have here are the things that I actually did like. In-game news, you know what? I think I will check this off only because in some cases, it's good to have that so that they can actually communicate to players maybe some of the things that are changing. For example, the survey. So I'm going to check that off only because of those reasons. Wild giveaways, I forgot this one here. This is actually very important too. Can I check it? There we go. So I think it's very important that they do giveaways on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, for example. I think that's very important to sort of have that to help players out. And let me just see. I'm not going to check new robots because, like I said, we actually had a lot of robots and weapons this past year, way too many, and I think they need to slow down. So I'm not going to check that because otherwise it might send the wrong message across. Battle rewards was good, same with supply drops, but then they started removing stuff. So, and changing the battle rewards. Some of those things I don't necessarily agree with, so I'm not going to check that either. And one thing that I will say with the other, and I'm not going to fill it out here, so it's probably something that I will tell them in another chat that I'm in with them. But back in April, when I did go to visit them, there were a couple of things that I did talk about. Okay, so one of the things was at the time the Spectre and the Dash were really expensive. It was basically $300 for a bot, and when I visited them, I told them, you have these crazy prices for robots. It's a virtual thing. It's not even tangible. And on top of that, there are players out there from some countries where it's like their monthly, their monthly rent, and you're charging $300 for a robot. Like, you've got to lower that or something because it's crazy. So if we take a look at the game now, it doesn't cost that. Even if you were to purchase like an Ares or any of the Greek robots, because it's not out in workshop yet, that costs, for me, I think it's like $140. In the US, I think it's like $100. So, they've made an improvement on that. So I definitely like the fact that they've actually lowered the prices for that. And the fact that you can get it in workshop, although the thing is with workshop, you got to wait 2 months after its initial release. So, the fact of the matter is it was $300 and it's now cheaper. So I'm happy about that. And I would mention it here, but otherwise I'm not going to do that. I'm going to mention it in my chat with them only because it's going to take me a long time to type out. That's just one change. The other thing that I spoke to them about, other than separate modes, was the other one. Matchmaking, silver, which they haven't addressed. I'm trying to remember something else. Oh, test server. So back then, one of the things that I spoke to them about was the test server. They were only putting certain robots and weapons in the game on the test server that they wanted players to test. And I told them, well, what's the point of testing these things if I don't get to test it along with the other weapons in the game? So I actually asked them to put as much of that onto the test server as possible. That is sort of the reason why we have most of that content on the test server, because if I'm going to be testing something, then I've got to have everything from the live server on that test server. Otherwise I'm not able to evaluate certain things. So, I'm happy that they made that change, and I think it's important. So that's something that I will add as well. You can see now why I didn't want to, click on other, because otherwise I would have to fill that all in. But let's keep going on down the list here. Best robots are 2018. Okay, so can I select multiple? That's a tough one, because I really like the Mercury, but I think Mender is also a really good one too. The Mercury I find fun to play. The Mender, you know what? I'm gonna say Mender and Wayland, only because it brought something very different to the game. It enhanced teamwork. The Mercury, the Hellburner, the Pursuer, you basically could brawl with it. You can support your team and stuff, but not like the Mender and the Wayland. This was something very different and unique. And I think I'm going to select that because having the ability to do damage and, helping out your teammates as well as yourself, with the heal, it was something very different that they brought to the battlefield. And I think I really like that. So that's what I'm going to select for Best Robots of 2018. Not so much the Wayland, but the Mender. And let's click on next. So let's see, what did you like the least in 2018? Okay, so now I'm going to be doing the opposite here. Balance changes, I'm not even sure what the balance changes were because I'm trying to remember. I know they made, I know what the balance changes in 4.3. Wasn't that when they changed things like the Bulwark and they made it stronger and the Spectre? Yeah, I'm going to check that because there are some things that they changed that I think they maybe went overboard, like that change to the Spectre. So there's going to be a lot of things here. Let's see, new robots, new mechanics, balance changes, in-game events that I liked kind of least. You know what? This one I will uncheck it because I don't want to give them the impression that I wasn't appreciative of it, because otherwise we may see that fade, and I don't think I want that, because I think they should just improve on what they have and make it a little bit more special for players. And that's basically what I'm going to say for that. I'm gonna check new robots and new weapons only because, like I said, the content that came into the game so quickly, and again, they're grouping everything together. And things like, all the medium range weapons like Dragoon, Arbalist, Ballista, a lot of these weapons I don't think was necessary to bring into the game. So that's why I'm going to do that. What did I like least? Supply drops. There's going to be a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Economy changes is definitely on that list. Components conversion, skirmish mode, new maps, in-game news, battle rewards. So yeah, let me just go back through this list here because there's a lot of things here. New mechanics is balance, new weapons, supply drops. Was good, but then it got worse. The upgrade rush. You know what? Let me uncheck that one only because the idea of having it be an upgrade rush is sort of a good thing, and we might see similar things of that happen in the future where they may actually do something similar, but maybe the prices or the cost of upgrading might be reduced. So I don't want to check that just in case. Workshop 2.0 was good, but then the price and the conversion was just terrible. Clan ranks, I wasn't a fan of that. Free-for-all mode I think is good. I just personally don't play it. But just because I don't play it and I don't like it doesn't mean it was a bad thing. It's just more personal preference. Okay, so economy changes I definitely do not like. Components conversion. Whoops. New carrier map, special, in-game news. Okay, so that is what I'm going to say, the things that I least liked about the game in 2018. Things which I think they need to improve on. Okay, and there are some things, like I said, that I do like and some things that I don't like, but it's important that I think, both you guys and Pixonic knows about it. So what do you want from War Robots in 2019? Let's see, new quests, remastering existing maps. I think this one would be interesting. A lot of players are saying cross-platform, and you know what? As much as I hate to actually check this for a number of reasons, I think it's kind of important because let's just say, I was playing on iOS and I wanted to switch to Android or, for example, Steam. I think it would have been nice to switch from one to the other. The only thing that I do question, though, is the amount of hackers and cheating that happens on Android. Because, being that I have now switched to Android, sometimes when I do test servers, I see a ton of hackers. And that part, I don't like that part. So I'm just wondering if maybe I should uncheck that. Because I actually want it, but because of the hacking and the cheating that happens on Android, it's something that I actually don't want to come to iOS side. The reporting system, I think, could be improved on. Graphics would be nice. This one's actually very important here. Settings, quality and performance. New customization modules. I'm going to hold off on that because, like I said, with the weapons and the robots, if I click on that one, you know what's going to happen. They're going to come out with like 50 of them, so I better not do that. Matchmaking, definitely. Okay, so special events would be nice. This one, increasing the amount of resources players get is very important to me. And let's see, rating players after the match. Like I think this is going to be interesting as well. Only because I think that's important, because let's just say you drop into a game and there's a guy either cheating, hacking, or maybe they are a tanker. If they're tanking, and then maybe that might be a good thing because it will obviously alert them, and then they can say, okay, well, why are there so many players alerting us on this player here? Like, is he doing something that he's not supposed to be doing? Or I should say him or her. But I think that's kind of important. New weapons, I don't want to go there. Hangar, navigation improvements, I think this is important too. Tournaments, I think would be nice. And paint jobs, I'm not opposed to that, and I think that's kind of nice. I'm trying to think of anything else, because, there are two things that really bug me right now in this game. One is matchmaking. Sometimes being or facing like full squads, or I'm facing, players that are a couple of leagues below me. I like being that I'm in Champion League. That does kind of bug me a bit. And even when I see some of these things on Android, it kind of bugs me. So matchmaking, and also the resources that we get. So whether it be silver and gold, those are the two things that I think they need to, obviously address. And that I would put, I think, above all, everything else, those two things should come as first and second. So I think, so they have here, do you want to add anything else? I think that pretty much sums up my evaluation, of the game for 2018. And I don't know if this is the last thing. Want to add anything? Oh, They're actually asking me to add something here. I'm not sure what I want to add on top of this. You know what? I'm just going to say no, because otherwise this video is going to be too long. Actually, wait, what happened there? Next. Which one is this one? Would you like the least in that? Next. What do you want from War Robots in 2019? Want to add anything? I'm just going to say no. And I'm just going to put that there because, I don't want this video to be all long and drawn out. If there's anything that I would like to add, then I'll obviously mention it in my chat with them. But I'm going to submit this, and that is my survey for 2018. Anyways, off to some gameplay now, as I'm sure many of you have been patiently waiting for that. And I'm going to do some post-commentary for that game because I wasn't recording live commentary at the time. Okay, so a bit of a backstory here to this game. It happened before we got the update with all the modules, and I was running with a viewer, and we dropped in on Dead City map. So I started off with my Hellburner because this is Beacon Rush, and I really like this bot only because not only do you do a lot of damage when you detonate, but just the speed of it allows you to get around the map very quickly. So I try to get the center. I was taken out. I dropped in with my Bulwark, and I decided to actually patrol down the right side of the map in the hopes I could actually help one of my teammates if they needed to attack the center, or I was going to go in there to try to get that beacon. So yeah, my teammate managed to get the center, and then I saw a pursuer trying to make their way down the right side. So obviously, I'm backing up here because you never want to get too aggressive going up against a pursuer, because if they go into stealth and they get inside your Aegis shield, you're pretty much smoked at that point because you can't defend yourself. So that's why you see me drop back. And then I was looking to see where the viewer was, and they were all the way on the left side, and I was like, oh, maybe I should just go help them because they're running with me, and yeah, they're probably expecting me to help them out. So that's why I kind of moved to the left side, but I had to protect the right first because that was just more important at the time. So unfortunately I arrived here late. I tried to take out that Lancelot, and I started to push this left side here, and then obviously they have a player back there firing Hydras at me, and I'm trying to alternate my shield, my physical and my Aegis shield here. So every time I'm seeing those Hydras, I'm like activating and then I'm trying to block their firepower, and I'm getting hammered by these hydras. So yeah, I'm trying to make a push here for the left side in the hopes that I could actually drop in and I wouldn't have to worry about those hydras. And then I saw all these Orkans. I was like, okay, man, that's a bad idea. So I'm gonna move a little bit closer here to the center, and I can see that the viewer is to my left. I could see the arrow, but I think they got taken down again. Can't remember what happened there, but I just remember pushing heavily on this left side, trying to get that damage in and pushing them back. So then yeah, I dropped in with my Mercury, and I'm looking at center, making sure that we got that. We have 3 beacons. At the time too, I actually didn't even know that we were going up like 5 versus 6. I thought, whoa, these guys are actually playing really well. Like this is gonna be a pretty tough game here, because they're giving us quite a fight on that left side, and at some point they're probably gonna push the center. So every time I'm going to the left to try to help out this viewer, and every time when I'm going to the left, I see them getting taken out. So every time I'm like a couple of seconds late because I'm dropping in on the right side. So anyways, yeah, I took out that Leo. Then I see the Spectre, and I'm trying to run behind this hill here, and I'm getting helped by a player, and I think it might actually be the viewer that was helping me out. So shout out to them. It looks like it was. And yeah, I dropped in with my Mender at this point. So I shot this one guy in the hopes that I would catch his attention, because I saw he needed help. So now I'm I'm basically a nurse running around the map trying to help all my teammates here, because I'm looking at the players, and I see, okay, it's 5 versus 4, 5 versus I think it was 5 versus 5 at one point. But I'm just moving around the map trying to heal all my teammates up, because I'm not sure, like this game could end up being pretty close. And again, I see the viewer, so I'm trying to get to them, and I'm trying to see if I can heal them. I kind of fired a shot there just to see if I could get the attention, and that way I could heal. So you see me doing that now. And I was gonna heal the other guy there, the Mender, but unfortunately I had just used my heal on my viewer here. So I'm trying to attack on the left side, and this player, they have, I think it was a Lancelot or Ancelot with the Scourge. Not actually a bad build, it was pretty effective too. And I'm trying to heal up this viewer. You can see their health. They basically have like one Orcan or whatever, and I'm trying to heal them up. And I was thinking, man, this is gonna be like one of those games where I remember one time my clanmate was healing me up in a Spectre. I only had 1 Columbus left on my Spectre, but I was healed up all the way over 100,000 health, and I'm like, man, why do you have to keep healing me? So I was trying to kind of almost be annoying, but not to the point where but I wasn't really sure if they had an extra bot, so that's why I was trying to heal them up. And we needed every single player for this game, because as you can see, it was like 4 versus 4. So I tried to actually rush to the Spectre, but unfortunately I was too late. They got taken down by shock trains. And then I saw this pursuer headed our way, and I thought, okay, I gotta prepare for this engagement. I'm going to actually go in between the pursuer and Bella to my right here, so that she could use me as a shield, and then I could heal her up as well, just increasing the chances of her survival, because as you can see, she doesn't actually have that much health left, and I'm assuming that's probably her last bot, because she lost quite a few bots on that left side. So anyways, I'm trying to move forward here, and every time I'm moving forward, I'm getting hit with shock trains. I'm thinking, man, Bella's gonna be dying here because she doesn't have that much health. So I'm trying to stay within range, trying to heal, and then I'm trying to go for this beacon. Then I get hit by shock trains again, and that bounced off me and hit her. So I'm trying to take this Spectre out, and also heal her up. And you're gonna see how much health she has. She has like 5 health or something. She doesn't have that much health, and I'm still trying to heal her up. It's so funny. She must have been like, man, you're gonna let me die or what? But anyways, I'm trying to take out these players here at center. I saw it was 4 versus 2, but you can never really tell in Beacon Rush, because sometimes players they play possum. They wait for you to get near a beacon, and then they drop in and they take you out that way. And I was almost down. I tried to get my spark under that Lancelot shield, and then take a look at what happens here. So 2 players drop in, and this is what I'm talking about. So I got smoked by those players, and then I dropped in with my blitz. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, it's 4 versus 2. Our odds are pretty good. Now it's 4 versus 1. And I see this player here. So my thinking was I'm going to hit them with suppression and my halo, lock them down, and take them out. So that's pretty much what I did. And I took this player out and I thought, okay, that's probably going to be it, right? And then another player drops in. So this player drops in. He's trying to protect the center. And I'm waiting for them to get out of stealth so that I could hit them with my halo. And this is where I was able to take that player out. And I believe that was game. So a very intense game at the end. And a lot of healing with that mender. And you're going to see why I actually like the mender so much, because it helps with damage and, you know, obviously silver as well. So this game I ended up doing over 2.1 million silver. I had silver boosters on, but take a look at that score. 11 kills and 2.4 million damage. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, as well as my survey of War Robots for 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.